Hello and welcome to another exciting match of the Peasant Tournament. A little out of breath since I just ran up here from cooking Father's Day meal. 1 second. Still getting a little situated. Okay, there we go. So we'll begin in a second. So the first match is Batford's Kitchen, hosted by Juxtapostion. I was making a sous vide pork tenderloin with bourbon glaze. Sounds good, but I did not have time to eat it. Just cook it for my father. So anyways, let's begin whenever these guys are going to begin. Now, I've seen kustaa before, but I've not seen juxtaposition. There we go. Okay. So, wow, mirror match. Now, starting off the bat, that's not good. Double ouch. Yeah, that's going to be hurting. Especially when it hits for 2, which is the most it can do. Oh, here we go. At the start of the game is the most they can do. He didn't have a great start either. I mean, obviously it's not as bad. He has 4 less damage. So you see, he needs to watch out for this guy. He knows he has a mighty bludgeon and a blocking mace. Sorry if you can hear my stomach growling. Hopefully it doesn't pick it up. Anyways, he needs to watch out for this guy here. He can go and then step 2, 1, 2. I don't know what that sound was. Hold on a second. Not sure why it's being weird. Just made a popping sound the game. Anyways, hopefully everything's fine. Yeah, I would go in. I would go in myself. Maybe get a single stab off. But I guess he doesn't want to risk it. Maybe he listened to my commentary and saying, "Oh, it's okay to give a single victory point." It is, but yeah, if he got rid of a dancing cut, he has something good there. Probably a parry or some other big hit. Superb impaling, novice. Yeah. And you see he kept the penetrating cut here, which meant whatever he discarded must have been pretty bad. Oh. That's probably why I didn't go in. Yeah, 2 backbiting strikes. Yeah. Okay, it makes sense. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone in with that either. He's getting some cards. Looks like, yeah, Aramis had or Aramis, I don't know, had a backbiting strike as well. So it looks like they both had mixed bags. It's pretty much a mirror match, which against 2 equally skilled players, it's pretty much just going to come down to luck. I mean, Juxtaposition has a lot of elo on them, but I'm sure they're both great players, so it's going to be anyone's guess. I think that was a risky move, putting him here. I mean, now he's just flanked. You don't want to get flanked. Well, I guess he had another step. Real question is this guy going to be able to live long enough to actually use these cards? There's no point in having cards if you can't use them. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have rushed in all the way. I would have stayed back. I mean, you have some range. Why not use it? Oh, he risked it, and it failed. Now he's probably dead. Yep. He got some decent hits off, and he took away a mighty bludgeon. Right now it's pretty close, back down to the 4 HP difference from the very start. Pretty much anyone's game. I think Kustaa has a slight upper hand now, only because he has slight card advantage. He has a 1 card advantage. He's probably going to run. I would run. But where, I guess, is where do you... It shouldn't really matter. As long as he can't do a double step. I mean, in theory, I guess he could do like a dancing cut, and then a dancing cut, and then I guess he can't even do that now. He'd have to go 1, dancing cut. Yeah, he can't even get there. So that's a good spot to go. And you're within 4 of coming back. Kustaa has priority now, so he might just want to go up there and just block it off completely if he wants to control the victory point squares. Yep. Although he can go around 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I mean, that would be really bad. It'd be putting himself. He's obviously going to just smash him from behind. So, yeah. Now he'll probably dancing cut up. Oh, that works too. Pull a block and get your facing. If he has a parry there, then that was the best move he could have done. The problem is he has Elven maneuvers and he does not. It's a huge advantage. That's like a 3 card just for Elven. Well, maybe a 2 card at this rate. It looks like Kustaa has it, unless... Oof. I'm surprised we don't see more knockback. Knockback's extremely strong right now, too. I guess without like pressing bash, it's hard. Pressing bashes can push him away and get back. Oof. Looks like Kusta's gonna have it. That armor is fighting back. It wasn't that lucky, but it was about average. Now it really comes down to luck of the draw. If he manages to get like 2 big hits and he doesn't get anything, then that's... If he managed to get a parry here... Oh, now it's over. I mean, it could have gone either way at the end. A single parry could have determined the entire match. Which it usually does when you're running 3 warriors and against 3 warriors. Well, okay, let's do the next match. That was pretty fast. Second match is Maztec Melee, hosted by Kustaa. Yes, Elf Warrior Battles Up. I think if I was running a 3 Elf Warrior... Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think if I was running a 3 Elf Warrior builds, I would have a sideboard of just tons of parries for 1 character. Just although there is a 1 item limit. I guess blocking mace and pairing buckler. Maybe, I don't know what else I would use. But I would just have like 1 or 2 people that just have parries. You see that a lot in Triple Duel, the league that's pretty much dominated by warriors. He might, like, if you know you're going to be fighting against people with lots of blocks, like Elven Warriors, because they can cycle and draw hard to pin down, and they're pretty much cycling all their attacks already. So they're going to have, they're going to be drawing blocks slightly more often than other classes. Or not classes, but other races. So I would bring anti-block stuff. There's not much you can do. Still waiting. Hopefully this doesn't crash. Yeah, I would just say remake. Oops. Camera. I think it's almost required to use like something with Warcry, Bellowing Helmet or whatever it's called. Just being able to remove blocks and as a cantrip could be extremely powerful, especially when you're running against warriors. Yeah, so you know that this is not an attack. Otherwise, Ouch would have revealed it. He's going right in. And he can't unless... Oh, he is using dancing there. This isn't an attack. Maybe he's trying to pull an attack off of him. If that's a parry, that would be a smart move to go in like that. Let's see what they're discarding. Oh, he got rid of a life-saving block. I usually try to keep those just because the opponent usually can't calculate them. Because they'll use weak attacks to pull blocks and they won't see it. Oh, look at all those parries. I figured he would have a ton. Parrying and blocking mace, blocking mace. Yeah, it's a lot. I figured that's the only reason he ran in. He should be safe there. I mean, he can stab him and he'll turn. But then there's not much to get around on these maps. Especially without nimble strike or telekinesis or anything to get over these waterways. Yeah, I would have kept the life-saving block. Who Porthos? So he got rid of it. So he must be probably carrying tons of attacks then. That's the only thing I could think of. Oof. All these blocks, but flanks. It's dangerous. I think I would have saved his attack. Oof. Brutal. I think I would have saved his attack just to get facing after I saw a hit or two. I mean, you'd be sacrificing like 11 damage, but you have to assume that there's going to be some damage trading involved when you're surrounded like that. Yeah. See now, oof, this guy's an attack. He's dead. All those parries wasted. It's a problem. I think I would, instead of moving directly to the victory point like he did, I think I would have moved another person up to get some kind of zone of control, or just not even had him on the victory point square, just moved him up just to be like a blocker. That's a lot of people joining. Problem with like putting yourself out there is you just make yourself an open target, especially for flanking, where he can just keep changing your facing around, like just spins around like crazy, getting hit without blocks. It was a risky move. Was he? He's thinking. And you can't cancel movements. This is the way they're coded. Because the reason why is the way it's coded is when you play a movement card, it checks for anti-movement cards, like Maze of the Mind. It doesn't check when you click to confirm the movement. Oof, his armor didn't block it. Kusta's not in a good spot right now. He's given up 2 victory points already. I mean, it is 1-1. Yeah, that's where I would have gone. Just has to control the victory point. 1, 2, 3, 4. He could go here to contest it, and with his impaling stab, harass. But this guy's surrounded, so he might just try to go for the kill. and just hope he can get back to a victory point square before the end. Parries. Parries can completely change a game up with fighters. Kind of wish parry wasn't so strong sometimes. That card draw is just huge. Just, I guess, acting as zone of control. Yep. He had to figure he had that if he's not attacking. Well, Kusta's still in it. I think Juxtaposition kind of made a mistake there going in. He had a stronger position. He was on the victory point here. I think he could have just held it and waited. I mean, I guess it really depends on what cards he has. If he doesn't have any parries and drew a lot of weak attacks or something. So you can compare this to the previous game where they actually ran out of time. You can see their times. They're on round 4. It's only 2 to 4 minutes. These people are comfortable with their builds. They know what they're doing. Or they just figure it's, a luck shot with all the parries and big attacks. I think that was a mistake. Unless he has a dancing cut. Oh! Oh! So close and yet so far. Yeah, I know. Ouch. That armor. I mean, he might have something else, but probably not. He probably wants to, pass. It's close. I mean, if he manages to get a parry or two, Kusta can easily win this. He's using Possessed. I mean, if he makes a run for it, he's on difficult terrain, so he can follow. Think what he needs to do if he didn't get a parry. I wouldn't have done that. I think I would have just bluffed and just hoped beyond all hope he either didn't have an attack or didn't draw one. He still might have bluffed. He still might have. He might have a parry. I would not attack. If you know you cannot kill him, there's no reason to attack. Yep. Make him question at least. But didn't work out. Okay, Juxtaposition. So it's 1-1. It was close. I mean, I think at the end he could have won, just like before. It really comes down to luck of the draw with the parries. Sometimes it matters for positioning, but usually if you know what you're doing, you're going to be positioning your warriors so they're not going to get flanked. I mean, the last game they kind of got stomped on. Juxtaposition is good to go. I don't even think Kusta has a sideboard or something. So Hyperthalamus is a weird map. It has victory points that are scattered really far. It was a lot of fun back in the day when Wizards were the dominant meta. With Warriors, it might lead to some stalemates. I don't think it will be too problematic because they're elves and they can get across, but with dwarves, you'd often see if they didn't have like a nimble, like on this map, if you don't have a nimble strike, you're not going to move up. You're just going to sit there. It's a problem with really far spread out victory point maps. But at the same time, I like them more than single victory point maps. I absolutely hate single victory point maps just because there's things you can do with just locking down a victory point and just delaying, which is not fun. I think engagement and during interesting choices leads to a fun game. Interesting. He's going in. I didn't think he would. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can control the victory point still. He must have no parry. I have no clue why he went in like that. No clue. Even if he had 211 attacks, I wouldn't have done that. You have to assume that they're going to have like a step attack, a parry, or a big hit. Because that's pretty much all they have. I would not have run in like that. Did get a victory point out of it, but he did lose a lot of life. 13 life for a victory point. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. Not for 1. If it was for 2, like, again, it depends what he has. Does he have a parry? The problem with his positioning right now is he can vicious thrust here and get through his block. He'll spin, so he'll be facing this way. So he should be good for the next attack, but then he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he's pretty much screwed. If he doesn't have a parry, I don't know. Running like that, unless you're like double bluffing or something, it just means, oh, I'm going to surround you, I'm going to kill you. Yeah, he's just going to dance and cut up, and then test with blocks with penetrating. Yeah, at this point, Juxtaposition can just pass a lot. If he has a parry, yep. Kusta's in a really good position. Yeah, you give up 1 point, whatever. It's not a big deal. If you give up 1 point and you get better positioning and manage to kill an opponent, oh, see, there's the war cry. You can just really decimate someone. See, like, he's going to have to give up a second victory point. But overall, it's still a net win because you killed someone, so they're basically have a 2-card advantage every round for then on. And especially when it's only been 2 rounds in and not much else has gone on. Having a 2-card advantage is just huge. The positioning of another person also, and the ability to have zone of control, and it's just really a huge benefit. Okay, they're just both health. A huge benefit of just killing someone. He's also scattered, which is dangerous. I mean, I don't know what he's going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, just run back there. If he doesn't have any parries, it's really just going to come down to parries again. I mean, parries versus a war cry. He used 1 war cry already, or was it 2? I'm still kind of out of it. I think he only used 1. That's interesting. So I mean, he might not. If he gets lots of parries, he can. It's pretty much just going to come down to who draws more parry. Yeah, he didn't draw a parry. Oh, this was going to be fast. Yeah, I think Juxtaposition went in too soon. Overextended when he didn't need to, especially when he didn't have parries and didn't have a way to get out. If he had like scouting run and maybe some dancing stuff to get in and get out, I could maybe understand. But I think he just way overextended and had no way to fix his mistake after he made it. Oh, that's interesting. So he didn't have a step. So basically, I think based on that, Juxtaposition might be able to come out. He really just needs to just kill one of these guys. He needs to be like, okay, I'm going to give you a victory point by moving off and just go for it. Oh, my game froze. As you can see, it's Kusta's turn, but Juxtapostion's clock's going down. So I'm going to have to rejoin. And I guess I didn't miss much. He just moved to the victory point square and took it. And there's not really much he could do. He didn't get any step attacks, so. Okay, well, so that concludes today's game. Hope you guys had fun. Remember, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to send me a message, either through YouTube or Card Hunter, Facebook, or whatever. Anyways, so that concludes today. I'm gonna go get some food. Have a good one and take it easy.